Hello and welcome to What to Watch with Your Popcorn. I'm Dave.
And I'm Rob, and today we're going to be reviewing Miami Vice starring Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell. The movie runs at about 2 hours and 13 minutes, so it was quite an interesting picture. It was kind of long. It was directed by Michael Mann, who made some great pictures like Heat and Collateral, so I was kind of surprised to see him take on a adaptation of the 80s TV show Miami Vice. So,
Yeah.
So, what was your reaction to this movie, Dave?
I think I like the 80s TV show a lot better. I didn't care too much for this movie. For one thing, you can hardly understand what they're saying because they talk so fast sometimes, and a lot of times they use like slang for different drug meanings and FBI meanings and all that. And you gotta basically know what all that means in order to understand this movie a lot of times.
Yeah, I kind of like this movie. I agree. During the first hour of this movie, I was not really crazy about this particular film. I mean, I found Farrell to be kind of one note in the beginning, and I really didn't. It didn't really feel. When I was sitting watching the movie, I felt like I just wasn't really feeling anything. It was like I was just sitting there and watching it at the start of the movie, and I didn't find the film fun or dramatic or funny. And like you said, sometimes it was hard to understand conversations like with Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx. I gotta say, the second hour came along, and I thought the film definitely got better by the second hour, starting with that scene where Colin Farrell takes Gong Li, who plays an assistant to one of the drug traffickers, to Cuba, Havana. That's when it started to pick up. I think it started to get more dramatic, in my opinion, and it was, I agree, it's probably a bit of a hard movie to sit through for the first hour of it, but I think it definitely got better. I mean, and my problem with it was a lot of stuff got thrown at me, like, for example, I guess Foxx and Farrell's characters have like this little small crew that goes with them on some of these missions. Like in the beginning of the movie, they're at a club doing some undercover work. And then later, when they go talk to this guy that helps set up this undercover drug thing, they're there. And I forgot who they were. I didn't remember them. They were not memorable characters. It took me a while to figure out who they were. I'm like, wait, are they with the trafficker? Oh, wait, they're with them. I don't remember them.
Yeah, you see one scene with certain people, and then it jumps to another scene, and then you don't see certain people until like farther on in the movie, and they never get talked about, and you just lose track of who's who.
I think it kind of did more in the second hour of the movie, but I think Farrell and Gong Li had some nice chemistry between them during their scenes. I found those scenes entertaining, but I didn't see much of a buddy relationship between Foxx and Farrell. And Jamie Foxx, I didn't completely buy in this movie, because they're about 30 minutes into this film. They're in Haiti, and they're about to set up this fake deal with one of the drug traffickers. And he's trying to talk tough to him. I didn't buy it. If he was talking to me like that, I would not have taken him seriously at all.
Yeah.
I would figure something was up. But I think, like I said, I think it's an okay movie. This is not Michael Mann's best film. He's done better. It's a decent movie, but and another thing, a lot of times when they do these remakes of old TV shows, they usually make them a little bit more like goofy action pictures. This is not a goofy action picture.
No.
They take it seriously in this film.
And they give you a lot to think about in this film.
Definitely.
It's almost like it's a whole new thing from the show altogether, because like you says, it could have been like a total spin-off of the show. It could have been a bit funny, but no, this was a whole, like, shut everything out else of your brain and keep watching and like try and understand.
Well, if you're going to walk in this movie, expect it to be like Bad Boys, where there's a lot of explosions and a lot of fights. You're not really going to get that. I mean, there's a fight scene near the end of the movie which I enjoyed, but this is not one of those action movies like Bad Boys. You know, it's definitely more dialogue driven and a little bit more dramatic. But
it was. This movie was more or less a drug drama. This is what it was.
Yeah, I know, and it was what?
A drug drama, because it basically half the movie is just scenes of like negotiation and drug deals, and not a lot of gunplay, not a lot of action.
Well, like I said, this is not what the movie's trying to be. I know a lot of people might think, oh, Miami Vice, it's got Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell, they're going to be bad boys and all that stuff, and that's not really what Michael Mann was going after, and I can understand why some people might be frustrated with it. And you brought up an interesting point. If this is Miami, now forgive me, I have never seen the TV show, and I'm sorry if I sound stupid, but I've never seen the TV show. If this is Miami Vice, how come they're doing these missions outside of Miami? I mean, granted, there is a scene where I guess it was an FBI guy promoted them to out of the Miami Police Department to work on this case, but why can't this take place specifically, completely in Miami instead of going to Haiti and Cuba and Colombia?
The reason why they went to Colombia and all that is because that's one of the biggest drug trafficking countries in the world, basically, and they wanted to make it look so realistic. I guess they wanted to show you like what goes on in those countries.
Well, but we barely get to see that. They just show up in Colombia, they take their stuff, and they leave. We don't really see they really go down. And I mean, but I know what you're trying to say. You want to see a little bit about the process, but why does it have to be them? Why can't, I mean, if this is Miami, I mean, if this was if this was not Miami Vice, let's say that Michael Mann wrote something completely different, it was like, you know, something else, like the names of the characters were changed from the TV show, maybe it would have had a better chance. But because it's Miami Vice, maybe for people, fans of the TV show who go see this might think that this is not exactly how, it's not really based off the show. It's like almost a completely different thing.
Yeah.
For all I know.
Michael Mann was obviously, he was just trying to show you like how it is and what it really takes to have to go into those countries and make a deal for drugs.
But are you recommending this movie or no?
I can't really recommend it, no.
Okay, you're saying no to this movie.
Yeah.
I'm giving this a mild recommendation. The first hour I was not involved. It definitely got better in the second hour, and I know you felt that this movie was just a little bit slow at times, and I can kind of agree with you on that. It's an okay movie. It's obviously not going to be a third. Like, just don't go into this movie thinking it's going to be a huge shoot-up movie the whole time, like From Paris with Love was.
Yeah.
That's not what this movie is. So you're saying you're no to this movie?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Dave says no. Don't watch this movie with your popcorn. I say you can. Some of you may find it a bit of a, I guess, some of a stretch to sit through. I mean, the first hour I was not crazy about either, but I think it gets much better in the second hour if you stick with it. So I guess that's it for what to watch with your popcorn. So thank you very much for watching.